What if I told you that the next Silicon Valley of the world may not rise in California, China, or Europe, but right here in Nigeria's southeast, in a region once known mainly for trading, manufacturing, and resilience? A silent tech revolution is now unfolding, driven by young innovators, diaspora capital, homegrown factories, and a culture obsessed with problem solving. Today, we are breaking down exactly why Igboland is positioned to become Africa's Silicon Valley, and sooner than you think. For decades, when people spoke of Africa's future in technology, the conversation centered on Lagos, Nairobi, Cape Town, or Cairo. But beneath the noise, something else has been quietly unfolding. Not on the coast, not in the capital cities, but deep in Nigeria's southeast, in a region long known for commerce, industry, and relentless resilience. This is Igboland. From Aba's manufacturing clusters to Nnewi's industrial estates, from Owerri's expanding tech communities to Enugu's academic corridors, a powerful convergence is taking place, one that mirrors the early DNA of Silicon Valley itself. This video is not about hype, it is about structure, culture, history, capital flow, talent density, infrastructure momentum, diaspora networks, and the invisible economic forces that create world-class innovation hubs. And when you examine these factors carefully, one conclusion becomes unavoidable. Igboland is not just participating in tech Africa future, it is positioning itself to lead it. Most people think Silicon Valley became Silicon Valley because of computers. This is wrong. Silicon Valley became Silicon Valley because of people. Specifically, people who combined obsession with problem solving, a culture of risk-taking, dense network of skilled talent, capital willing to experiment, an ecosystem that rewards innovation over tradition. Before Apple, before Google, before Facebook, Silicon Valley was an agricultural valley. It was orchards, farms, and quiet towns. What transformed it was not technology, it was mindset. And long before Igboland ever had startup softwares, hubs, or venture capitals, it already possessed something even rarer: a deeply rooted entrepreneurial civilization. In Igboland, enterprise is not a career choice. It is a culture. From childhood, young people are trained in commerce, negotiation, risk assessment, reinvestment, supply chains, and customer psychology, often before they learn algebra or physics. This means Igboland did not need to learn capitalism. It only needed to digitize it. And that transformation is now underway. No region on earth has produced entrepreneurs at scale through an informal system like Igboland. The Igbo Apprenticeship system, locally called Igbo Boy, has trained millions of young people in business operations, inventory management, negotiation, logistics, customer relations, and reinvestment strategy. For years, analysts treated this as a cultural curiosity. But in the digital economy, this system looks less like tradition and more like the world's largest decentralized startup accelerator. Instead of PowerPoint pitches, Igbo apprenticeships learn cash flow management, supply networks, customer psychology, operational efficiency, competitive positioning. These are exactly the skills startups fail at. Silicon Valley founders often struggle with distribution. Igbo entrepreneurs are born into it. Now with coding, boot camps, software engineering academies, robotic labs, and innovation hubs emerging across the Southeast, something unprecedented is happening. Traditional business mastery is being fused with digital scalability. This fusion, not raw technology, is what creates global tech ecosystems. Most tech hubs specialize in software. Igboland already dominates hardware. In Aba, thousands of factories produce shoes, garments, leather goods, machine parts, plastics, furniture, and mechanical systems, often reverse engineered and redesigned locally. In Nnewi, indigenous industrial giants manufacture automotive components, lubricants, electrical equipment, cables, plastics, pharmaceuticals, and consumer goods at scale. This manufacturing density gives Igboland something Silicon Valley had in its early days, but most African tech hubs lack: the ability to prototype physical products cheaply, quickly, and locally. When software engineers can collaborate directly with machinists, electricians, factory owners, and supply chain operators, innovation accelerates. This is how Schengen overtook Silicon Valley in hardware. And this is how Igboland is positioning itself for dominance, not just in fintech, but in robotics, clean energy hardware, automotive systems, industrial automation, medical devices, smart manufacturing, and consumer electronics. In the global economy of the next 20 years, hardware plus software convergence will define wealth creation. Igboland already owns half of that equation. No African region has a diaspora as commercially networked as Igboland's. From Germany to China, from Dubai to Canada, from South Africa to the United States, Igbo entrepreneurs operate manufacturing plants, logistic firms, technology startups, distribution networks, and import-export empires. But something deeper is happening. Diaspora Igbo professionals are not only remitting money, they are importing systems. They are bringing venture capital logic, startup governance structures, technology standards, compliance frameworks, and intellectual property awareness. This knowledge transfer is far more valuable than remittances, and unlike traditional diaspora capital that targets real estate and consumption, Igbo diaspora capital increasingly targets tech startups, industrial automation, renewable energy, manufacturing technology, and export-driven platforms. This pattern mirrors the role of India and Chinese diasporans played in transforming Bangalore and Shenzhen. What follows diaspora capital is always ecosystem acceleration, and Igboland is entering that phase now. Across Enugu, Nsukka, Owerri, Awka, Abakaliki, Umuahia, and beyond lies one of Africa's densest clusters of universities, polytechnics, technical colleges, and professional institutions. This region produces engineers, computer scientists, medical professionals, pharmacists, architects, statisticians, economists, and technicians at scale. But for decades, the best talents left. Today, something has changed. Remote work, startup decentralization, diaspora partnership, and localized innovation hubs are reversing the brain drain. Young developers no longer need to relocate to Lagos or London to build global products. They can build from Owerri, Aba, Awka, Enugu, Onitsha, Nnewi, Olu, Nsukka, and Umuahia. This is not theory. This is how Silicon Valley, Bangalore, Tel Aviv, Shenzhen, and Berlin formed. Igboland is now entering the same curve. For decades, infrastructure held the Southeast back. Roads, power, financing, industrial parks, logistic corridors all lagged behind potential. But the last decade has seen aggressive private sector adaptation. Factories installed independent power, tech hub deployed fiber, manufacturers built private logistics, developers launched data centers, industrial parks expanded, private universities upgraded labs, innovation clusters emerged in Aba, Awka, Owerri, Enugu, and Onitsha. And when infrastructure reaches functional minimums, innovation no longer waits for government. This is precisely what happened in Shenzhen. This is what happened in Bangalore. This is what happened in Vietnam industrial zones. And this is what is happening in Igboland. Skill no longer depends on permission. It depends on coordination. Silicon Valley is not powerful because of money. It is powerful because failure is allowed, because experimentation is encouraged, because iteration is rewarded, because ambition is normalized. Igboland already operates this way. In Igbo business culture, failure is not fatal. Risk-taking is respected. Apprentices are expected to surpass masters. Wealth is not hidden. Success is aspirational, not shameful. This is rare in many societies. Stability is prized over experimentation. In Igboland, experimentation is survival. This psychological wiring is precisely what tech companies and ecosystems require, which is why Igbo entrepreneurs dominate Nigeria's trade, manufacturing, logistics, distribution, imports, exports, retail networks, and informal finance. Now that this culture is merging with software, engineering, venture funding, startup incubators, and digital scale, the results are inevitable. The signs are already visible. Tech hubs expanding in Enugu, Owerri, Awka, Aba, and Nsukka. Startups emerging in fintechs, logistics, edtech, agritech, health tech, manufacturing software, mobility, and energy systems. Indigenous factories automating production manufacturers integrating ERP systems, e-commerce network, digitizing regional trade, export-oriented brands scaling digitally, Diaspora-backed startups relocating R&D to the southeast, local government exploring industrial clusters, university partnerships with innovation labs. This is not hype, this is ignition. Silicon Valley was built by immigrants. So was New York financial sector. So was London's trading empire. So was China's manufacturing miracle. So was Israel's startup ecosystem. Innovation hubs are never accidents. They are products of talent density, risk culture, capital flow, infrastructure convergence, entrepreneurial psychology, diaspora networks, manufacturing depth, and relentless ambition. Igboland possesses all it, not in theory, in reality. And unlike Lagos, Nairobi, Cape Town, whose tech models are primarily software and service-driven, Igboland's edge lies in software, manufacturing, trade, diaspora networks, and industrial skill. This hybrid model is stronger, more resilient, more export-oriented, and more difficult to replicate. The next Silicon Valley will not rise where people expect. It will rise where people are already building. And today, one of the most underestimated builders on earth lives in Igboland. If you believe Africa's next great innovative hub will rise from unexpected places, smash the like button. Subscribe to 1010 Media for deep documentaries on Africa's wealth, industry, innovation, and power. From Aba to Onitsha, from Nnewi to Enugu, from the streets to the factories to the future. Drop a comment. Do you believe Igboland can become Africa's Silicon Valley? And why? This story is only beginning.